Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you,
Great. You
Kelvin.
are live. Yeah, we've been delaying, like a little bit delayed because we're trying to get this right. And I know
Very,
viewers
very
are
sorry.
very excited to have you on the screen right now. It's a surprise. Nobody
I'm
knew you were
excited
going
to
to be
be
live on today's show. Um, and normally the show start with some greetings. I introduce the show. I tell people why we are on the show and say hello to a few people. In fact, today is Angelina Arthur's birthday, and we were supposed to do that and say happy birthday to her. I know you know her, and she's watching. We couldn't do all these things, but if you're watching me right now, thank you very much for being part of today's show. We have lawyer Sammy Gyamfi with us right now. He is in a hurry to get into another meeting, but out of respect for with all due respect, he said he is going to speak. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
Great. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to just concentrate on one specific thing. There are a lot of things happening now. We have time to discuss those things, but I think we need to stick to what we want to talk about today. And this morning, we realized that you released a statement and which concerned the judgment from the Supreme Court yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yes. In your statement, you said a lot of things. In fact, you are actually trying to tell Ghanaians and also sending a message across that the judgment had a lot of flaws, a lot of holes that the Supreme Court, if there is any opportunity for them, they need to come back and, in fact, let us know the clear understanding of what they were trying to say, because most of the things that they stated, especially when it comes to the figures, they're saying that the EC said in their final statements and they were not consistent. In fact, I'm going to take a few minutes and read what you actually released to give us a little bit of time for you to at least have an idea of what we want to discuss on the show. So this is what you released, folks. The judgment of the Supreme Court on the 2020 election petition is full of patent falsehoods. Particularly, the ratio descendi. Sammy, brofo. The ratio descendi, right? On the issue which is captured at the last paragraph of page 39 of the judgment. They claim by the court that the figures 13,434,574. The figures are very, very important. That's why I am taking my time to let people know the figures. 13,434,574, which was announced by Jane Mensah in her 9th December declaration, was actually the total vote cast. The number I just mentioned was actually the total vote cast for the election, but the same was mistakenly announced by the returning officer as the total valid votes cast. It's untrue, and not borne out of evidence that was before the court. You go on to say this. As can be seen from the attached Form 13, that's Declaration of Presidential Election Results, National Summary Sheet, which is Exhibit 4 of the witness statement of Jane Mensah, a document I believe was forged by the EC to justify the unconstitutional declaration. The total vote cast for 2020 presidential elections is 13,434,508 and not 13,434,574. What you are sticking to is 13,434,508, 508, and not 13,434,574 as the court claims. You went on to say this. So how did the court arrive at the conclusion that the figure 13,434,574 is the total votes cast? That was a question you asked. Now you went on to say this. Can they point to one official document that has that figure as the total vote cast for the 2020 presidential elections? Yes, you said this. Also, the courts claim that Jane Mensah committed an error relative to the total valid votes cast in her declaration, which was later corrected on the 10th of December, is false. As the figure the EC published as the total valid votes in their unsigned press release of 10th December is 13,119,460. 13,119,460, and not the 13,121,111. the court claims is the correct total valid vote cast for the election. These inconsistent figures expose the flawed conclusion the court arrived at. This is what happens when an electoral management body cooks figures to achieve a fraudulent, predetermined election. The Supreme Court's decision to uphold the patently flawed and unconstitutional declaration of the 2020 presidential results by Jane Mensah makes a mockery of justice. Very pathetic. Sammy, Gyamfi, Esquire. I think I got it right. So
yes, my brother.
What we will try and do now is we would like to mix the we should mix the language. We should let the ordinary Ghanaian understand what we are talking about here. Yakabro Fosa, it do some time I will say Yenyabutre na yecheche nyomemu na yenuanom na sebio they didn't have the opportunity to also go to school sebio to understand English to be a what ase no almost bete nkomo na yedi nase. Nti basically from what I read in English na the person change na say Supreme Court judgment no figure na omde beto abontene say eno na EC ejina so e dey call election ma President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo no for mon hwehwemu any investigation and basic arithmetic, figures that EC the Supreme Court ejina so edibu asem no court enrich I think enrich numbers ni nyina in chechirimu ho and so can you explain to us how you came about this figure and why you are saying that the Supreme Court actually got it wrong in their judgment?
Okay, good evening once again, and greetings to all those who are tuned in and are listening to this program. Like I said this evening on another platform, South Supreme Court's judgment we are about on the 2020 election petition is what I call a travesty of justice that makes mockery of justice. It is intentia and the petitioner John Dramani Mahama and the good people of Ghana, because I buy a toy on 7 December 2020 and yet a soon so ena Jimens and the Tubia and yet a hunsun so ena Supreme Court ajiatum. Supreme Court's figures are original so Ediaka so Mampinye Akufo-Addo na the 2020 election. The figures are patently flawed. I just say and this thing is not difficult at all.
Okay.
For any Ghanaian to understand. You don't have to be a lawyer. Because asamo aye kano very, very simple. Calvin, as a people, ya to muse yedemra ene bibugana. And the mother of all those laws, the supreme law, is the 1992 Constitution. No na ye mra kunyina ya to muse yedebebu omayeno. Now, Article 63.3 of the 1992 Constitution provides the percentage of total valid votes a candidate must get before he can be declared as president-elect. And you say, Ghana si ebenyo mampinyi a just sa o mampinyi no yekoto abasi yi o mampinyi no wenya emma papa no mudodo more than 50%.
Emma papa no.
You need to get more than 50% of the total valid votes. That is emma papa no. The answer no dey yenkan.
Okay.
Or what did the say no? The rejected votes. Ebe kan ma papa ne ho a the total valid votes are and a wunya the total vote cast. But Article 63.3 say you declare the winner based on Emma Papa no the total valid votes. And the way no it was so wunya Emma Papa ni more than 50%. And unti say to now will be nya more than 50% of the total valid votes now. Then EC be declare the winner.
Yeah.
Now EC no any declaration no na yemra o. Who declare we are na emra say what the one sa ashe declaration na sia mana be yemra. That is the declaration of president-elect instrument. Ne be yemra we are wa gazette chese wa boni de wura chira mansai. That is your law. Yankasa ya dia she ya mamra ni mu a ya dibu Ghana. And on the idea to about from 92 BC. J.J. Rawlings, President Kufuor, Professor Mills, John Mahama, all became presidents because they met that constitutional threshold. They got more than 50% of the total valid votes cast. In the elections are almost standing. In the DNC, December 9th, 2 days after Sani Yakotwaba, 2020. Yakotwaba, Jimensa declared. On only figures or dear declared and none agents of the Akasa. Or say my papa about battle the total valid votes. And if you are watching this show, you are a Ghanaian, you want to know the truth, just do this calculation. You can confirm the figures I'm giving you from the EC's own answer to the petition. Almost say the total valid votes. 13,434,574 13434,574. Go read the declaration of 9th December video new on YouTube. You could hear this figure. Then on Penya Kufuado nya saying, and my papa no nyamudu was saying, almost 6,730,413.
Yeah.
And almost say, on Penya Kufuado percentage unya no 51.595. Bear in mind the results are maka Sammy. EC Neka say 274 constituencies results,
excluding Techiman South, right? Okay.
Because as at 9th December, the returning officer was declaring the results. We did not have results for Techiman South. So that was what was there. Now we did that calculation, and you can do that calculation even now. Divide 6,730,413 by 13,434,574 and multiply it by 100. You will not get 51.595 as G Mensa declared for candidate Ekufuado based on 274 constituencies. Rather, you get 50.098. And then G Mensa we are percentage ni become on Mampenye Ekufuado diam. And they cannot tell us say and in the four baby what EC office no this simple percentage. Dividing a numerator by denominator and multiplying by 100, no, they got it wrong. Abandon no Murium. Okay, so you get 50.098 for candidate Ekufuado based on
if you stick with the 6,730,413 Ekufuado Nyaye as his valid votes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, divided by 13,434,574, which they said was the total valid votes.
Yeah.
So then she said in that declaration that I don't have the results for Techiman South because there are disputes over it, but I will still declare for candidate Ekufuado Sono Narine because Emadodoa what Techiman South in 128,018 votes, 128018. And unti Semedesa votes ni nyina kra ma John Mahama wedi second. Candidate Ekufuado still obere and ubenya more than 50%. Kevin, sa sembo ya ma American on the declaration ejina so they declare banema Mampenye Ekufuado enya no kre. I mean, you don't need anybody to deceive you. You don't have to be a judge to know enya no kre. Pick a calculator. Or the total valid votes in here 134,345,74 based on 274 constituencies. It is a Techiman South vote, 128,018. Add the two figures to now get the total valid votes for 275 constituencies. You will get 13,562,592. 13,562,592. Now, Mampenye Ekufuado votes a very constant because Jimenez says, "Oh, the Nina Krama John Mahama." It will not change Mampenye Ekufuado votes. And I can't remember.
Yeah.
So divide Mampenye Ekufuado Mawunyayano, which is 6,730,413, divided by the new total valid votes 13,562,592. Multiply it by 100 to get a percentage. You get 49.625%. 49. So person we one decimal like 49.6. 49.6 enya more than 50%. It is the yenyina ya constitution ya gia tumu express was a candidate binya ansa na wabe yo mampanyin no. Candidate Akufo-Addo wanya ye wi abani mu ama no. Asem we ne de koto court nanim. Now Kevin, Shannon so say a yasa declaration we ne ensem we mu no. Eno energy mensa enacted no into law. Eno no den nsa sha asem na be ye embra.
Yeah.
Eno no gazette. Now Article 63 clause 9 say the enactment no say embrana declaration about no na ya dance here chire so be your mampini. That is a prima facie evidence of the election of a candidate. So what did Jimensa enact and gazette? Results ben it is this 9th December declaration, because the gazette or the enactment, which is Declaration of President-elect Instrument 2020 CI 135, say I, Jimensa, returning officer for the 2020 presidential election, do hereby declare that candidate Akufo-Addo, the candidate for the New Patriotic Party, having obtained more than 50% of the total valid votes in the 2020 presidential election, is hereby declared as the president-elect. Given under my hand this 9th day of December 2020. So, enactment no evidence of Obi election as president was done on 9th. Meaning it was done based on the declaration of the 9th. Then, Mamini we no abeto ananse se ma kire Ghana for say, oh, figure na me can say eno na ye total valid votes. 13,434,574. Enya total valid votes. Na a total vote cast.
Okay, so that's everything.
Total vote cast, say total valid votes plus rejected.
Yeah.
Enti enya total valid votes. A total vote cast.
Yeah.
Na me can total valid votes. And I'm not form here na me can idea figure a total vote cast as a total valid votes. Kevin, and throw in a Jimensa ni easy for dia chere Ghana for and omoko repeat chere court no. And the idea na was a court no here. Say be Jimensa 9th December declaration or better microphones na nimu no. Wa money team ne kasa he. She read the script and me boy.
Yeah.
And in the script, the total valid votes had been written 13,434,574. And the end be ordinary no keke na kasa na no afom. A speech ya chairman penifo ahwem and all kind ye. Now, important fan say we a mistake even in the written speech. There was a court to be our person who answered me no kribisa say. Okay, should a document cry? A woman say the total vote cast is 13,434,574. Na yenyu ni say figure na okay no a total vote cast ampa. Akoye say Kevin ebia wasoma Sammy Gyamfi so on kota de supermarket and farmer. Then osuma me no ma notes ose koto digestive biscuits and I watch the good paper so ma me se me nkotre. Eti me call shop se me kwa to biscuits me call me se me pe shortbread biscuits. Enti o mama me shortbread biscuits every. Then na ma call back to omo a moton ade na ma me won say oh na enya shortbread biscuits and asameka se mento. O ka se mento digestive o twere ma me paper so. Sa asam na meka na ye no kra. De kire ne say wo se ye ko check paper na Kelvin de ma me na. Yehu digestive e wo so. Because I know na me see say ye ka kire me se me nkoto. Kevin, do you understand me?
Yeah.
What's the figure? 13,434,574 no. A total vote cast. And one no form cast a total valid votes. And it a document to cry. So figure and also say a total vote cast. A document to cry. What document a would you so the declaration your friend of form 13.
Yeah.
The form 13 and on a Ghana you to aba every year. Ni keka candidates ni nyina votes bomu a ye twere results ni guso. That form is called the Declaration of Presidential Election Results National Summary Sheet. Now, sa form yi eno na candidates ni nyina votes was eno na total valid votes was eno na rejected votes was eno na rejected ballots eno na total vote cast was eno na Gmensa si ogina so de declaration no. Sa document were the website. In fact, Gmensa acquired the attaché the witness statement as Exhibit 4. Just that it was never tendered as evidence. But at least it was before the court. Justice Gertrude Tokono, one of the justices of the Supreme Court, asked Dr. Kwesa White to identify her. Dr. Kwesa White, during his cross-examination, said the form was not authentic because it was not the same as a form in the law, CI 127. It is a sub form on a Gmensa SCSA. Ojina so the declaration, no declare results ni we crowd the kotare dan ho and the keka ho. Yan ko hwe form no so hwe say. Total vote cast na e wo so no. And the Gmensa can no knife no eye pa na. Me nua ko check here. It is 13434508. It's a different figure. 13434508 is a different figure. And I will tell you what has created this problem.
Okay.
But before I get there, no, the person can say the Supreme Court got it wrong. And you can go and get the 58-page judgments. I have mine on my phone. You check page 33 first, even before you go to page 39. This is what the judgment says. I'll say the last line of page 33. I'll say there is no doubt that in providing particulars of the vote cast, the chairperson of the first respondent announced the figure 13,434,574 when she was referring to the total valid votes cast, which was actually 13,121,111. And today decide say, oh, figure no kind of a mistake, a total vote cast. Meanwhile, form 13 so a different figure no. And Supreme Court must say figure no 13,434,574 no any total valid votes, but a total vote cast no. Montre a document okra muhu yet no also. Montre. Or did they manufacture that evidence?
In the whole judgment,
because there was no evidence before them apart from the Gmensa in their answer, which was controverted by our witnesses. There was no evidence before the court said that figure is total vote cast. That is the seriousness of the injustice court the Ghana for.
Now, Sammy, before you go forward, what was court's basis for using that figure? Did they state in the judgment?
It is stated at page 39.
Yeah. So
also from the evidence on record, I know they find the reasoning of the court. That is what is called the ratio decidendi. That from the evidence on record, it is clear to us that it is absolutely wrong to hold on to the error committed by the chairperson of the first respondent in announcing the total vote cast, when from the data used in announcing the results, the true figure representing the total valid vote cast actually totaled and was known to be 13,121,111.
Yeah.
And to almost also coachere say the entire almost say Akufo-Addo awin and say maame no figure na kind of declaration ni mu no enye total valid votes or ye mistake a total vote cast. Here I'm referring to the 13,434,574. I am saying the Supreme Court got it wrong, or what they said is falsehood, because some figure no any document be able to say a total vote cast. That's the first point. Number two, almost the total valid votes for the election no 13,121,111.
Yeah.
Where did they get that figure from? Almost say. So we read Gmensa declaration now na figures are them 12 candidates no. Okay, kabomua. That is what you get. So to them no, that is the total valid votes. I want you to know how flawed this court decision is. Almost say. Jimensa a declaration on 9th December. Ochrem Madodoa, all the 12 candidates in the election. Na se woke kasa mani nyina bomua, you get 13,121,111. So to them, no, that is the total valid votes. Because the total valid votes is supposed to be the sum total of the votes obtained by all the candidates. Correct. Correct. But Kevin, votes are Jimenez and the candidates, no? Any 9th December, because court on say Jimenez a mistake na okoka total vote cast as total valid votes according to them, without any evidence. But that's point one. Why correction of the error? But they forget, say, in that so-called correction of 10th December, no. Jimenez and Sansu Sesama John Mahamenyae, as compared to the other man on the 9th of December. Or Sesama or Mampenya Kufuadunyae, as compared to the other man on the 9th. So, for example, on 9th December, Okase John Mahamenya 100 votes. On the same night, Osio Mampenya Kufuadunya 150. TMU. Then on the 10th, Ose Joma Manya 100, Unya 90. Omampenya Kufuadunya 150, Unya 160. Now, who Supreme Court, what I can 9 for the anarchic can't figures na boom say, when they total valid votes. Not 10 for the NA.
Now, in the gazetted. Go ahead. Sorry, I'll ask you. You just go ahead.
10 for the ano. And or that game, at the buy. And say 9 for the any mistake, 10 for the any, so I call that what the correct figure. Okay, can't figures or the man candidates in Bomua on the 10th of December. Obian check his press release in it. You Google it, you get it. EC corrects errors in declaration. The total valid votes she declared on the 10th in that press release was 13,119,460. 13119,460. So 9th, or say a 13434,574. 10th, or say a 13119,460. And said Jimenez account on the 10th say total valid votes in 13,119,460. Adding a court, rely on 13,121,111 based on 9th declaration. Most say or your correction. If me kind of saying, Kelvin, me the document about when him 1st of January. Now me on the 2nd of January. What document will you make reference to? Is it not the latest one?
Yeah, the latest one. That's the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if it is the latest one, then the total valid vote is 13,119,460. So where did you get your 13,121,111 from? Because the woman changed all those figures. At the exchange, you're not saying John Mahama or the man and knife and so on by 1,707,707. And or the man penya kufuado man or the 174 can.
So that is where
you know why I'm total valid votes, because in any election, presidential election, the most important figure is that figure. That is the denominator or the year division. Now what the actual percentage. The total valid votes, in doubt, and now any credible, it calls into question the credibility of the results or the candidates, because then the denominator now or the division
is wrong. Yeah.
Wrong. Into a percentage, wrong.
Yeah.
Into ya to ababa komasa muti abroach USC. Ye betimi ato aba na 9 December results baako. 10 December results baako. Then ye samai Jimenez akoko to a. Now as also the another figure ba. On the 9th, she said the total valid votes was 13,434,574. On the 10th, she said the total valid votes was 13,119,460. When we took her to court late December, our filing the answer mid-January, or say 13,121,111, which is what the court has used. Why not the 10th December figure? Why not the 9th December figure? So you see a campo a 9th no there was a use because 9th no ena o enacting into law a gazette. Correction now all claims which were all flawed no. Even if they were true corrections in power, they were not enacted and gazetted. And the court na kani nyina no enya no kre.
Sammy obiso beka say
total valid votes is 1312111 enya no kre because over 10 December press release now a 13119,460 and I am challenging anybody to dispute this fact. And even apart from that, Kevin only be a who Okofa 274 constituency summary sheets. A good easy for website. Now okay, total valid votes in Abumwa. You get another figure a year different from all the three. Medical and Yatuga. Over 16 regional summary sheets. So now okay, total valid votes in Abumwa. You get a different figure. And the about to ayato Ghana no. Okay, constituency results bomua is different. Okay, region 16 the bomua any constituency then how? A constituency results now okay bombenya region. It is a me collate 16 regional results. The figures I get must be the same as the figures I get when I collate 275 constituency results. But not this election. Who collated 275 constituency results, you get one outcome. Who collated 16 regions, a different outcome. On the 9th, we declare one figure. On the 10th, or the another figure, or court to across the sun. Court to say, figure now can the 9th, no, a total broadcast, any document be a Jimensa and Casa Form 13, I done a website. A year exhibit 4 of the witness statement now, a hunti, when Timmy and tender in evidence, the figure there is different. Into your one document, I expose to the Supreme Court of Ghana.
Now, Sammy,
Kevin, before you come, let me explain to you why the inconsistencies.
Okay.
These things would have come up if Jim Mensah had entered the box. And that is why I went in the box. You know what happened? Jim Mensah, Saubekaya, Roger Metinunu, evidence. Okay, say at some point, our moves and results nearby figures, mistakes, woman. Or call Jimen's office.
Yeah.
Say, or then you could come on. Now, or 3 hours near see Jimen's and you, Kevin, okay.
Yeah.
Now, is the lawyer did to some part or 3 hours. Now, one of us, woman, tea, any biscuits, no back I some.
Yeah, by digestive. Okay, sorry.
3 hours, and not Jimen's and no way. Returning officer here to presidential election. I want to say, it was a strong room. Now, one agency quality resource. One más strong room. Ura wa imprenu. Imprenu no be anywhere would do more than 3 minutes.
Sorry.
Afe resource or banner mistakes wo muni e beri hwewa. 3 hours uni office no way.
Sammy, Obiswa
Joe Anoche and the NPP were feeding her with figures. So figure now will declare on the 9th no or pray no because the woman no catch we are saying also be a declaration on international conference center. Invitation cards or the map party for diplomatic community. Na international conference center also. And then pray no one year declaration will be before because your money figures. Yes, NDC for ni ho. Declare the results. BBNC or court. We will protect you. And the figure now will declare, any total vote cast and any total valid votes. The woman cooked the figure. It has no basis. So you will not get any document. I will be with 13,434,574 no so, or you can justify that figure.
Sammy,
it is not total vote cast like she claims.
Yeah.
It is not the total valid vote. She lied.
Okay, Sammy, so I would see some other views too, especially maybe the communicators of the NPP, and I say maybe the second respondents. Basically, because I say NPP for now say ebia utie some legal arguments. So because the court can say the change could not affect the outcome of the elections. Whether they stuck with the first declaration or with the second one, as we speak now, the official, no, a second one, and I think so the court is using. But the one she gazetted is the first declaration.
They are using the first one. You see, you don't even know what they are using. They claim that the declaration was correct.
But we can say the difference. They are not
using the correction. They are using the first one.
So
it doesn't make sense.
Somebody is going to say, what was the errors wasn't so significant to change the elections for John Mahama.
Let me explain it to you. Let me explain it to you. Answer question. Now me can be said. The figures were cooked for G Mensa, and that is why since o declare results, figures now different. They be our sister figures. I as an accountant, they be a brand saves sika. Now in says over record correct figures, no attiti boot, not. It's a so no balance and account statement.
Do balance sheet, no? Yeah.
Figure be share and balance or TB share and balance. And we be now to G Mensa no. Figures no only baby on your free enti onto me my documents no any figure no onto me reconcile it. And you the figure the baby na ni achene say mfonso wo no. In fact that from 13 no after say John Mahama dey call court no and omo forge and omo man agents be sign. And that because there was a form no na wujina so ye declaration, and if that form existed on the 9th there and then at 10th on that form, the total valid votes is 30,121,111. Why is it that that document, TMU, Kevin, you use common sense.
Yeah.
You have to a baby. You were from 13. Total valid votes was so 13,121,111. Agents as sign. NDC in Kwana ni other agents no as sign. Now G-Mens are a mistake on the 9th. Set 10th or by your correction. Documents na kita no. Esu figures no de beba meboa.
Yeah.
Because documents no 1/9. It when say me a mistake. It cardiac 10th no. And call the 1312111 no. And the beba on the 10th. I don't know the 1311940. Because the document was not in existence. It had not been forged at the time. Oboa. Yedi assembly court na koto ampa mo man ko forge sa document no say the way they were no kan ye ni nti ko keka sa figures ni bom na fa kwa ya another pink sheet na man for me sign ni em backdate. That is what they did. But now let me answer your question. Obi say what was the impact of all these inconsistent figures?
Yeah.
And that is why the court was so unfair to General Mosquito. Because them saying the evidence in some kind they did not understand. Meanwhile, G. Mensa made a declaration on 9 December. It was that declaration which was enacted and gazetted. That declaration says the total valid votes are 13,434,574. To say the medical canon. Also, Mampinyo Kufuado votes on 6,736,673,041.
Yeah.
Or say, DSR division na winya 50.098. Or say, the Techiman South the Enina Kram Mahama candidate Kufuado Bebroso or Boa, candidate Kufuado 49.625. And ye 50% in Puna more than 50%. So, Ubisami said the impact in the year on the basis of the declaration on the 9th, which is what was enacted and gazetted, candidate Kufuado more than 50%. But akoto ampa Emma General Mosquito aye calculation. Well, General Mosquito and yes calculation we. When you so 13,434,574 no because I say a total vote cast. But akoto ampa lied and misled the court. Because any total vote cast, it is not on any document say a total vote cast. The calculation was not a calculation based on the figures in the declaration. I don't know whether you understand me. And your more answer to your more questions and more
because Akoto was leading a witness, and so he can bring in his own questions.
Exactly. Yeah. The general says, yeah, figures see there when you been, but that doesn't mean say that was what G. Mensa declared. It's a whole court will say G. Mensa you declare any mistake. Ne mistake correction or yeah, no, or famra kwanso na yeah. Or the Nesasha as Yamana Bayemra. First one na mistake woman ya amend no ya revoke. Ya review, ya any. Oh, so the decision is so flawed. It is so unjust. It is so unfair. And like I said, it is travesty of justice that makes mockery of justice.
Sammy,
and every fair-minded person or the near disaster will know say this verdict does not reflect the verdict of the people of West Pressy on 7 December. Why? She mensa wanya bonibia and ka ye to Jericho first who protected no prevented her from entering the box. What did they have to hide? They knew that the Nimbiguase. They knew. Say, because Jimensa, I am aware, told them. Say, you told me I should declare, and that nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Then I cannot assure you about what will happen. And so fought from 13, Kachachuchi Kata would have confronted Jimensa with it. And if she had lied, she would have been liable for perjury and she could have been prosecuted. That is why people did all they could to prevent the woman from entering the box. Kevin, it's so painful. It's so painful that our courts are a last hope when it comes to these matters. In spite of the facts and the evidence that came before them, still arrived at the conclusions they arrived at. The figures before you are so clear. So clear.
Sammy,
then they say that you did not come to court with your own figures. Were we supposed to come to court with our own figures? MP before year 2012, 2013 election petition, did they bring in their own figures to court? No. They took the declaration of Arijan Aye plus the pink sheets. And Omobeka said, oh, polling station overvoting here. Presiding officer and sign. Serial number no, aba mienu. Polling station code, aba mienu. Into moon to 4 million votes moon. The Ebekano, Munina Sonamon declares on Penya Kufuado na arena. And almost say, a man no more person court ni chemuno. A free, they are not easier declaring. And Omoka said the court should declare that one. So it was not their figures, it was the EC's figures they used for the analysis.
Sammy,
I don't do John Mahama so dia.
Yeah.
Most of funny figure.
Sammy, so
maybe assemble better quarter and
okay.
I dance here support to my sem and I was a better court in him and I can't remember.
Yeah.
So me say per Jimensa declaration why you know figures a woman no. Say make a case near extra some and penny ku for 50%. Say me the assembly na beto anim dia. Na me de ho dance here ba. E Jimensa figures no na was a me de baby dia dance here. And then me figures. And no the ma assembly mu. It obunya mischief no any MPP for attempts to incite party foot soldiers against some party leaders. And in any case, Kevin, I explained this issue on Power FM this evening. I mean, this would be Obia Niwa 2020 about one eye to you. Obe to Miakase. Or no, I had collation correct figures. Collation need the Obe to Miakase why. And I know say NDC, yeah, collation. But your figures can never be correct. You know why? Garbage in, garbage out. You cannot add wrong figures and get a correct figure. The aggregation of figures that are mathematically wrong cannot yield a mathematically correct outcome. About 1 year, 2 years, Bibia year trokan, everything was a mess. So much that over constituencies be some riches.
Yeah.
Okay, and Madodo Yadema 12 candidates in Bomua, Ebia Winya 99,000, like it happened in Techiman South. But Obekwana easy not 97,000, what it is 2,000. And I can give you so many examples where the total valid votes recorded by the EC on the pink sheet is different from the figure you get when you add the votes of the candidates. So, wrong figures in Kwane captured on the face of the pink sheets. And it is a many political party duplicates of that pink sheets. No, na minya. Na make a figures ni bomwa. Yes, Miami coalition will have figures, but the figures will still be wrong because the primary documents na mijina so the coalition, you know, are wrong, are full of mathematical inaccuracies. So how can my collation be correct? Uni say the figures ko ya kan your meka. Omeka oh, you cannot approbate and reprobate. To me nka say Jimensa figures ni inconsistent and wrong. and yet do a collation based on those wrong figures and bring it to court, say the court should uphold it. Because if G Mensah's figures are wrong, then your figures too are wrong.
Yeah.
That is what they would have told us. And that is why our lawyers decided, say G Mensah figures, so the aka same way, say, Pema meno ankasa figures, so Mampenya Kufuor do 50% there. And yet, Yamfa on one figures, and ya dance in so manson. In any case, I make a way to Kevin, untimin ko other issues. Kevin, Ghana, Obian check Article 64, Clause 1 of the 1982 Constitution. Or say any citizen can challenge the validity of a presidential election results in the Supreme Court of Ghana. Any citizen. Kevin, any citizen. And Kevin Taylor, ubetimide Ghana battle results are Supreme Court under election petition because or see any citizen.
It wasn't specific. So
yes,
a foreigner can do that.
Ghana NBI. Yetu aba na wasi nsusu so no. Ene Ghana mrabo ebra.
Yeah.
Ultimate Supreme Court election petition. It is a Kevin Taylor. Una wutie 9 December declaration of G Mensah. And now we can figures boom based on the mamene announce you know. Akufuor do enya we, John Mahama enya we enya we okika ni nyina boom. And now who is a figures na mamene no declare and say wo gina so ye nkonta na. Omampenya Akufuor do nya more than 50% of the total valid votes. Constitution is say e was a wonya. And now what the call Supreme Court. And can we bet me bisa wo Kevin Taylor say, where are your own figures? Who your political party, who agent? Where will you get your figures from? That argument is so bankrupt. Then you are trying to tell me, say, no citizen can challenge.
Yeah, challenge the
but
EC.
You need your own results. How would that citizen have his own results?
Yeah.
Or contest election? Or agents need their keka home? So I will not take too much of your time. But what I want to say is that some evidence that John Mahama and a lawyer for, led by the legal colossus, Lawyer Chachuchi Kata, who is an inspiration and an example to all of us. At the two courts in Nimuna. The total valid votes of Mampenya Kufuor do nya ene de keka ho a were nya 50% no onya 49.6. Supreme Court decision no figures of mujina so dia ye ni nyina na eni declaration ni mo.
Sammy.
So omo de intention di Ghana for.
Sammy, so is the NDC or the petitioner John Mahama looking at a review on this issue?
So far, no. I have not gotten any such indication from the petitioner or the lead counsel. Because they had a kasama for you won't pay you for a lawyer for kukudaya. Judgment, no mugusu or mufim. Na minim se so musie jina yebisa ombe maya swate na yeso yamagana for ate. But for now, no. I am not aware of any such decision.
This
I'm not aware of any such. But you see, Kevin,
yeah.
Maybe the end then say, as some way, we share bracket to walk around the streets of Ghana. Now, Bisana, Unibesi. Obia in BSC, Obia in 2020 about one year. And on the end then because you see, Ghana for him day. Yeah, Casa TV. So when you say Sebio, you Nyansa chain or more or Moncasa. A lot of people are saying, and I would see or more petition be. No more trauma analysis. You will even be surprised. Maybe Sammy say, Sammy, the movie say, cry. Mameno, uncle, when you go kutira, and can so sonny die. Utimufita, set your bonku. I don't know what another community miss our question. I've already done 2013 or answer questions in now would you would I ask them sebe.
Sammy Ubu Mienu. Into open competition that I remember had because I had yet to be, but it was good. Yes, see, I correct what they come with you know. Or Tijahu or Bob Bessia. That was Sammy lawyer Sammy Gyamfi, the communication director. But before you go, finally, who is a comrade? I'm talking about the NDC. Who is a comrade? Who loves NDC? And who is a patriotic NDC follower?
A comrade, a patriotic NDC follower, is the man who believes in the values and the ideals upon which the NDC was founded. The man who is ready to die for the party. The man who believes in equity, who believes in probity, who believes in accountability, who believes in social justice. NDC ni papa ni NDC ni a party ni dana koma so now or that commitment to sacrifice and to die for this party. And I dare say that we have millions of such people in Ghana and beyond who are committed to the party.
So Obiso NDC and the mission and the ideals and the collective vision of the party, so can you call that person as a committed NDC?
No. If you don't believe in the mission, the vision, the ideals, and the values, then you have no business joining the party. It means you are in the wrong place, because it is the values, the ideals of the party, and then my party near party. So you untimin gazo yen kremonizo very prekuna.
Okay. In this NDC kokukum, no mo kofa adwene bi, na se nipa bi obo NDC mo NDC adwene so as a collective body. Sa nipa no or your NDC ni kroji anase or your NDC ni ehone ho.
Kevin, we will talk about this today.
All right, lawyer Sammy Gyamfi, he talk about that. Yes, I'll bring you back.